Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn about the features of GST and some other aspects of GST. Right, let us start. Features. Now what are the features? It is inclusive tax. Goods and services are considered similar. In our previous video we had seen in the problems of indirect taxes, we had seen that goods and services were treated differently earlier, right? Because if you manufacture goods, central excise duty was applicable, and if you sell that good, central sales tax or VAT was applicable. In case of services, service tax was applicable, which was also a central level tax, not about state level. See, goods and services are considered similar. We are trying to consider goods and services as similar thing. You sell the good or you sell the services. Whatever you sell or whatever you supply, okay, the word supply, whatever you supply, taxes are applicable on that. This is inclusive tax. GST is inclusive tax. Applicability on supply, okay, of goods or services or both. The word supply is very important in GST. I have been focusing on this word again and again because if you do not understand supply, you will not understand GST, right? We do not charge on sales, we charge on supply. Now what is the difference? We will see it whenever we are learning the supply part, okay? And then four structure GST composition. We have this four structure GST composition. We have CGST, SGST, UTGST and IGST. If you are selling within the state, within one state, if you are selling CGST plus SGST is applicable, or within one union territory, then CGST plus UTGST is applicable because state is not there, your union territory is there. And then if you are selling from one state to another state, then IGST is applicable, which is integrated GST. Do not call it as interstate or intrastate or whatever, right? And then dual model is implemented in India. Okay, there are different forms of GST, different models of GST. In India, we have adopted dual model of GST. Dual model means central government will also levy and collect taxes. State government can also levy and collect taxes. So central government and state government, two different governments will levy and collect taxes on one good, and therefore we call it as dual model. And next, GST is modification of VAT. Many times this is repeated to you already. VAT, value added tax, was there earlier before the introduction of GST, which was introduced in India in the year 2006. And GST is modification of VAT. VAT was applicable at the state level, and now GST is applicable at the national level, right? GST is also value added tax, but a modified, the newer version, okay, of VAT. Complete taxation system. GST is a complete taxation system where compliance procedure is also defined, where refund procedure is also defined, where your credit procedure is also defined. Every single thing related to taxation is defined in GST Act, and therefore it is a complete taxation system, right? GST does not say for procedural aspect, like for compliance procedural aspect you have to go to the direct tax department and pay taxes over there, and for credit purpose you have to again go to some other department. That does not say anything. GST is one autonomous such thing which only gives you all the compliance procedure, 100% compliance procedure for the taxation part, right? And then applicable on all goods and services except a few negative listed goods and services. Friends, GST is applicable on all goods and services in India except few goods and except negative listed services. And what are those? We will see it later, okay? We will see it later. Existence of threshold limit. Next part. Existence of threshold limit. Now what do you mean by existence of threshold limit? See, एक चाय वाला जो होता है वो चाय सुबह आके चाय बेचेगा और घर जाएगा. Do you think he should pay the taxes? I'm to say the GST. You will say no. If I say he is selling you good, or let us say he is selling you services, do you think GST is applicable? No. It is because there is a threshold limit. Very small businessmen, there will be many small businessmen roadside. They will be doing businesses for a very nominal price, and they are giving you services or they are giving you goods. They all do not charge you GST. You go to a local fruit vendor, you purchase a little fruit, he will not give you GST compliance letter. I'm to say he will not give you the bill having the GST. He will only sell you the fruit. Now why is it so? It is because he is not he is not entitled to pay the GST, because there is a threshold limit. And what is that threshold limit? 40 lakh is the threshold limit, and 20 lakh for the services. We will see it later. Reverse charge is very important part of GST. You cannot ignore that. It is not 100% applicable even till today, but fine, this is there, reverse charge. What do you mean by this? See, normally if I am supplying goods and services, normally I am speaking generally, if I am supplying goods and services, I have to pay taxes. But in reverse charge, if I am getting the services, if I am getting the goods and services, then I have to pay taxes. Now what is the difference is that I am registered in GST. The person from whom I am purchasing the goods and services is not registered. He is unregistered person. From an unregistered person I am getting the goods and services. I am purchasing goods and services, and therefore on behalf of that person, because he is supplying, on behalf of that person I have to pay taxes, and therefore I am being reverse charged. Understanding? So I am not the supplier, I am the receiver, and I am paying GST. That is the reverse charge. There is a section called section 9, subsection 4 and subsection 5. They speak about the reverse charge. We will see these all things later. Section of Central Goods and Services Tax Act 2017. Right? These are the features of GST. Now we will see the dual model of GST. GST is also charged that way. Okay, CGST plus SGST or UTGST. Okay, that is how the taxes are done. And look at this part, IGST is also a type of tax. GST, full amount will be shared between two governments, that is central government and state government. 50% goes to central government, 50% will go to imparting state. Sir, 50% of what? 15% of IGST. What about that case? They are also same. That is also 50-50 only. Okay, 50% will go to central government, 50% will go to state government or union territory. If it is going to union territory, then it is obviously going to central government only. But fine, this is how the law is made. If you have understood the dual model, let us also understand about IGST more. Now this equation will tell you IGST part. IGST is equal to CGST plus SGST. It means the rate of taxes is decided this way. If IGST is if IGST is 12%, CGST will be 6, SGST will be 6, 50-50%. If IGST is 28%, then CGST will be 14, SGST will be 14. Okay. I will read all these points. Transaction between two or more states carry IGST. Two or more states. Transaction between the states. I am not speaking within the state. One state, another state, and if the transactions are happening, then IGST is applicable. Because GST is a consumption-based tax. Consuming state will levy tax. Consuming state will levy tax. Because GST is a consumption based tax. See, I am in Karnataka and I am purchasing goods from Maharashtra. I am in Karnataka, I am the receiver, I am purchasing goods from Maharashtra. So where am I consuming? In Karnataka I am consuming. Which tax should I pay? I should pay IGST. Understanding? Hence IGST is applicable whose rate is equal to CGST plus SGST. If I am purchasing mobile phone, 18% is the rate of tax. So 18% IGST I have to pay it to the government. If I had purchased a mobile phone in Karnataka only, then 9% of CGST, 9% of SGST I would have paid here only, right? The exporting state will transfer to the government the credit of SGST used in the payment of IGST. Now what do you mean by this, transferring the credit? We will see this part later, okay, but for your only information I will tell you what is this. The exporting state will transfer to the government. See, IGST to whom I am paying? IGST I am paying, in my previous example, IGST I am paying to Maharashtra, and that Maharashtra, whatever is the part of SGST, that part will be transferred to central government, right? This point specifies the same thing. The center will then transfer to the imparting state the credit of IGST used in the payment of SGST. Imparting state, wherever I am using that good or service, right? That state will get the credit. This way the importer of goods or services will get the full amount of SGST credit. Importer means I am the person who is importing from the other state. I will get all that credit, 100% credit on goods or services whatever I am importing. Okay, this is a part of IGST. And now the net result is that central government and imparting state will get their share. The net result is that IGST, see, IGST is classified into two, 50% and 50%. 50% will go to central government. This is over because central government has got its 50% share, and this 50% of SGST which was clubbed into IGST and went to central government will give this 50% to the imparting state. Because I am in Karnataka, I will get the Karnataka government will get that 50% amount, and this is how I will get 100% credit. It is as good as I am paying that 50% amount to state government, right? So 50% from central government I will get the credit, and from state government I will get 50% credit. I will get 100% credit. This all is 100% theoretical, friends. Whenever I will start the problem on the board, blackboard, there you will understand everything in detail, okay? Need not worry, just understand. The net result is that the central government and state government will get their share. Central government is getting 50%, state government is getting 50%, okay? Now this is about the revenue sharing. Look at that GST intrastate. For intrastate transaction, CGST plus SGST is applicable, and for interstate it is IGST applicable. CGST revenue will go to central government, SGST will go to revenue will go to state government. If it is UTGST, the revenue will go to that union territory, and then if IGST, then revenue will be shared between central government and imparting states. Now, how many states and union territories are there in India? Look at that. See, we had 29 states with legislature who have the legislature who have the power to make the laws, and then in India we have 7 such union territories with legislature. We had earlier, okay, Delhi and Pondicherry. Now Jammu and Kashmir is added. In total we will get 8 union territories, okay. Without legislature we have these many union territories: Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar, Diu Daman and Dadra and Nagar Haveli. These are the 7 union territories without legislature. Those are 3 with legislatures, right? 7 union territories and 29 states. I am to say total 8. I have not added Jammu and Kashmir in that list, in that numbers 7. If you count that, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and those 3, 8 union territories and 9 states, right? Total 37. India is very large country, and therefore we had to bifurcate the revenue sharing, state government and central government. Now in this map of India, you will find all those union territories and states, right? Andaman and Nicobar are a part of India, right? Dadra and Nagar Haveli, here you will find those, right? And these states have special economic benefit. We call these as special states, special category states, these northeastern states, right? These all: Meghalaya, Sikkim, Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and then Jammu and Kashmir also had was considered as a special category state earlier. Now we consider it as special category union territory. Okay, this is a part of the map. And then we will go ahead. Commodities to be kept outside the purview of GST, these three: petroleum products, 5 petroleum products. There are more than that also, there are several other petroleum products, but specifically these 5 petroleum products are kept outside the GST purview. It means GST is not applicable on those 5 petroleum products, which are those motor spirit, that is petrol, which you use for your motor vehicles, cars, or for any other purposes. Petrol is a part of petroleum product, those 5 petroleum products. Then diesel, natural gas, crude oil, and aviation turbine fuel for aeroplane. We also call it as gasoline, right? So those 5 petroleum products are kept outside the GST. And then alcohol for human consumption, all those are kept outside the purview of GST. The reason will be told to you later. And then the electricity is also a state matter. It is listed in the state list, and therefore it is not, GST is not applicable here, right? If you are copying down the notes while watching this video, please copy down all these 3 and those 5 petroleum products. Taxes to be subsumed in GST. Central taxes, those many central taxes and these many state taxes have already subsumed in GST. I will read it out only once. Okay, you need to by heart this if you don't know. Central excise duty, additional excise duty, service tax, central sales tax, additional custom duty, countervailing duty, special additional duty of customs, surcharges, cesses on tea, rubber, NCCD, that is number 9, National Calamity Contingent Duty, NCCD, and then number 10, Excise Duty under Medicinal and Toiletries Preparation Act 1995. I will speak more about this excise duty later. Okay, girls, you should be aware. Girls, you should be aware of that part. Okay, excise duty under Medicinal and Toiletries Preparation Act 1995. And then these many state taxes which are already subsumed in the GST, which are those VAT or central or state sales tax, entertainment tax, luxury tax, taxes on lottery, betting, etc., state cesses and surcharges, entry tax or octroi, purchase tax and advertisement tax. Right? These are the taxes subsumed in GST. It means now there is no such tax like this applicable today. If it is applicable, then only on such goods which are not subsumed in the GST, which is not counted under the GST. Now let me tell you, friends, frankly, let me tell you, Bura mat manna, 98, more than 98%, less than 99% goods are already covered in GST. Not 100%, but yes, 98%. Goods are already covered in GST, right? So there are hardly few items which are not covered in GST, and on such goods, these all taxes are applicable still. Even today, these all taxes are applicable, right? But for those 98% of goods in India, these all taxes are not applicable if it is counted in GST. Taxes continue post GST. Right? Even if GST is there today, these taxes are there. right? I will read it out. Basic customs duty for imports, STT, that is security transaction tax, stock exchanges, property tax, taxes on mineral rights, taxes on alcoholic liquor, opium, narcotic items, and then Indian hemp, etc. Right? Those are such things which are banned in India, but fine, they are charging it heavily, and these are the matter of state government. And then stamp duty, professional tax, taxes on vehicles, toll tax, taxes on goods and passengers carried by road or on inland waterways, extra excise duty on tobacco products. Tobacco products specifically, central government will charge the taxes, levy and collect the taxes. Entry fee at the municipal corporation border, local tax, this is local tax. Entertainment tax is also local tax. It is all applicable even till today if GST is not applicable, right? So far what we have studied in this series of videos, we have seen problems of indirect taxes, objectives, features, dual model of GST, IGST, revenue sharing, special states, and then commodities to be kept outside the GST, taxes subsumed in GST, and taxes continued post GST. Right? So that's all your syllabus for unit number 1. Unit number 1 specifically, because this is online class, I am mentioning that this is the syllabus given by Rani Chennamma University, Belagavi, and these are the points that we had to cover in syllabus. Unit number 1, that is introduction to GST. We had to speak about present indirect tax structure. Present means the tax structure which was there earlier, okay, even today if I speak about. And then problems of indirect taxes, need for introduction of GST, definitions of GST, meaning of the term GST, and then commodities to be kept outside the purview of GST, and then other indirect taxes continued post GST, continued, okay, this is continued, word continued is the normal meaning, and then dual model of GST, features of GST, all these are covered. All these are covered. If you have not seen any of this part, you can check my previous videos, okay, on my channel, that is Nilesh Kade is the channel name. You can search on the YouTube, right? All these are covered as a unit number 1. Thank you, and this ends your unit number 1. I will make one more summary video or 2 more summary videos of unit number 1, right? See you in next video.